It's your boy Amreezy, and I'm back with another Road to Sorare Boss, where I document my journey from Sorare Beginner to hopefully Sorare Boss. Now, we're just coming back from an winter break. The international leagues are resuming. The leagues are coming back. We've had a winter break with only Premier League football and a little bit of Serie A football towards the end. So I'm really looking forward to having more leagues coming back, more Sorare options. I'm a beginner, right? I've only got a few cards. I don't know how frustrating this must have been for the more experienced managers with loads of cards who are playing in 10, 15 leagues every week. I'm only playing in sort of like 2 or 3 leagues a week, and I was missing it. I did enter teams. We'll get to my teams. We'll get to sort of how I've been doing so far. But this is going to kind of be a little review of my team, how we're looking forward, going now that the leagues are opening. How do we look? What my thoughts? What my strategies? I'm still new to Sorare. I've been doing it for about a month or two. I'm loving it. The winter break didn't really come at a good time for me because I was just getting into it. I've won 2 rewards. So I was getting into it. I was getting the groove, I picked up 2 cards, even though, they weren't the best cards, but I was enjoying the feeling of winning. I was getting into it. And then the winter break comes and I've only got a Premier League options, and my Premier League cards aren't great. I'm a Chelsea fan, so a lot of the cards are Chelsea cards. So that's even worse. So we'll get onto that. But I hope everyone's had a good winter break. I hope you're raring to go for the next bit of the Sorare season. In February, I think we've got the MLS season coming back. We've got the Mexican season starting. I think the Japanese league starting. So this is an interesting period for Sorare. They've also, Sorare themselves have announced the new Rivals. The Rivals was in a sort of beta mode. It seems to be now more in a kind of widely rolled out mode. I see they've got Gerard Piqué challenging us on Rivals. So Sorare's active at the moment. They're trying to get new fans. I love it. Let's have a quick look first at how I've been doing in the winter break. Not that great. No rewards. Spoiler alert. Let's have a look at how I've been doing in the winter break. Since the last video, there's been about 2 or 3 game weeks, and I could only play 2 of them. I didn't have enough players for one of the game weeks. So this is the first one, was Gameweek 438. I entered a 240 with no goalkeeper playing. I was just hoping that my 4 outfield players would deliver. As you can see, they didn't deliver. Sandro Ramirez is a nice little player for me, though. He did well in this week. Everyone else did bad. My Cesar Azpilicueta pick, just because he's a Chelsea legend, has been in my team since I started. I play him now and again when I think he might get a game at Atletico. So I wish he'd leave. I wish he'd leave and go to a Sorare playing league where he played every week, because I think he'd get good points in a team that was sort of maybe in the lower half of La Liga. But because he's playing for Atleti, he doesn't play every week. And when he does, he's not the main man. I think if he was a centre-back in a back 3 for a sort of bottom half team in Serie A or La Liga, I think he'd be doing well. But, we take it what we can. This was just a team thrown together where these are the only players that I could put together at this time. So not that great. As you can see from my scores from the last 2 weeks are on screen, 171 points and 174 points. It's not good enough. So that was Gameweek 438. If we take a quick look at how I did, this is currently live at the moment, Gameweek 440. Although I'm not expecting anything more. I think all my players have played. My goalkeeper is a little bit off at the moment. He keeps getting like under 30 scores, which I don't like, because when I got him, he was high flying and the team are doing well. I think they're about 3rd or 4th in the Turkish league. So yeah, I'm not quite sure why Bilal's not coming through with the points, but he's not. My Fiorentina defender didn't play. This boy from Fenerbahce, excited about Rashika. Now, he did glorious for me. He's just come out from injury, so I got him in my team because I have the Besiktas striker, Muleka, I think I have. Yeah, I have Muleka, the Besiktas striker. So I wanted a kind of little mini Besiktas stack. So I got this guy in when he was coming back from his injury. This was his first time he's had more than 60 minutes from injury. Scored a goal. They've now got a good game coming up, Besiktas. So I'm hoping he's a nice little pick. I don't know why I struggle to think of the Besiktas striker. He was in my team this week because the only leagues that came back so far are Turkey, Italy, and England. So that's what my leagues are made up next. Going forward, Spanish leagues picking up again. I think the Dutch league is back. I've got a Dutch player. So, this week, currently, I didn't do that great. I did hope I'd do a bit better, to be honest, because I wanted all 5 of these players to play. Again, I'm picking Aspilicueta just because I couldn't fit everyone in the 240 score. I was hoping the Besiktas boys would both do good. I captained the wrong one. I'm still working out captain season, so I mean, I haven't quite worked out how to nail the captain decision. You'd think it'd be easy. You've got 5 players, you pick the player you think is going to get the most points. It's not that easy, apparently. It's not that easy, so we didn't do that great in this current game week for 40. Let's see how I'm thinking and how I'm looking going forward for game week 441. So football's back. More leagues are reopening. So I'm going from the dizzy heights of just one league that I've been entering recently and might be going for 2 this week. So doubling my Sorare activity hopefully this weekend. I'm thinking Cap 240 and Premier League Specialist. There is a new Sorare 220 competition, kind of like what they just did, where I think it's for about 7 or 8 weeks, and they pick your 4 best scores within that period, and then you're getting a ranking based on that. I don't think I'm going to go for that much this time around. I did that last time, and I didn't do that well. I did okay in a few of those weeks, but when you're picking your 4 best scores from a longer period of time, I think that favors the better managers who are targeting Cap 220 leagues a bit more seriously. For me, Cap 240 is still kind of my priority. So what I'm thinking is Cap 240, and then with the players left over, Premier League Specialist, which, to be honest, I'm not really expecting much from Premier League Specialist, mainly because I'll be chucking in some Chelsea players in there. But let's have a look at how we're thinking for 240. So, like I said, we've got leagues returning. I don't just have to play my Premier League and Serie A players. The goalkeeper, Big Bilal. I need to see more from him. Look at his recent scores. He was hitting, 90, 86, 63, 76. His last 4 games, though. Bilal, come on, mate. So I need him to turn around his form. He has had periods where he's had like low scores. I'm just hoping he's a bit of a streaky goalkeeper and that he'll come back to good form. I don't know I've got any other options anyway. He's my only goalkeeper, my only limited card goalkeeper. So we need Bilal to hit some form. In defense, these are the options I've got. Let me just select the options of the players who have actually got games. So I've got these options. We've got these Chelsea boys who are injured. And then we've got these 4 options I can pick from in defense. With Quarta at Fiorentina, he's been a little bit injury on and off. So I'm not fully convinced he'll play. So he's out of the running. And also, this is a Cap 240. I kind of need to keep the caps down. So I'm going to be playing this guy again. Now, if you follow me on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, I did make a little tweet a few weeks ago where I said this guy was going to be my big gamble. I got him a while ago. I paid too much for him. He's one of my first cards that I bought. I bought him because he used to be in the Chelsea youth team. So I remembered his name and I saw that he was now the captain of this team. He captained the team once, I think. So I got him in. Maybe a bit of a foolish pick. However, he's come back from injury. It took a while to get going. He did good in his last game. In his last game, they got a win. He got an okay score. So I'm hoping they're playing Almersity FC. Can't say I know that much about them, to be honest. However, hoping with his really low L15, he can be a... Why'd I go back? He can be a facilitator for some of the other picks. Mainly Beste, who's my main big hitting player. I'm able to fit in Beste in this team because I've got this guy in defense. So it's a bit of a risk because he doesn't play for a great team, but he did good last game. Hoping he picks up a bit of form, and if he gets 2 good performances back to back, he's going to be a seriously good pick for me because it'll take a while for his L15 score to get back up, and he can facilitate other big players in these capped leagues. So I'm thinking him in defense. Rashika, who I mentioned earlier, scored last week for Besiktas. Again, a bit like Xavier. He's got a low L15 score because he's been injured for so long, and he's just come back from injury. So you can kind of see that he was out from injury for a while, but he hasn't been playing 90 minutes. But his last game he played 73 minutes and got a goal. So I'm hoping he, with his low L15 score, can be another good pick. He's got a good fixture this week as well. I think they're playing the team second to bottom. They're playing a really good game at home. So I'm hoping Besiktas deliver. My other options in midfield are Kovacic, who it's a bit of a gamble. I never really know with Kovacic if he's going to play, if he's not going to play. He did play against Sheffield United last game, got 60, which is not bad. But as you can see, Kovacic is kind of a bit of a gamble. You never really know. So I'm not going to risk Kovacic. And the other option that I can play this week is Servi. Again, Servi's another good player who's been good for me lately. He's come back from injury, wasn't in the first team for a while, came back in the first team, has looked okay, but now has picked up another injury, annoyingly. So he's not an option, but he was previously a good option for those low L15 scores. Up front, I'm thinking Sandro Ramirez. I do have a few options now up front. I could go for Silla, who's back for Valladolid. Or, because Besiktas have a good game, I could also go for Muleka. However, Muleka's been a bit off the boil lately. His last few performances have been a bit low. And in the last Besiktas game, I saw that he didn't start. They started with Tosun, the former Everton striker. So I'm worried that Muleka is no longer the Besiktas number one. So I can't start him anymore. I need to see his form pick up before I can pick him again. Whereas Sandro Ramirez, he's the main guy for Las Palmeiras. They're doing all right this season. He got an assist last game, so I'm hoping he continues. And then in the extra player who will be my captain is Beste, my Beste player. Let's hope he delivers again. High L15 score of 62, but, you know, just about works with this team because of the low scoring two players here. So that's what I'm thinking for Cap 240. The other league I'm thinking is Premier League Specialist. I'm going to be going for Emilio Martinez in goal. They've got Everton, you know, they don't score that many goals. So I'm thinking it's either him or Pickford. I've got, you know, the option of having one or the other. I just think Villa always have the chance of scoring a lot of goals. And Everton, you know, even though their form has picked up a bit, you know, you never really know. So I've got more confidence with Martinez. Then it's going to be Chelsea v Fulham. So Chelsea and Fulham, I put some of the key fixtures up here. There's the Besiktas one, the Las Palmeiras one. There's the one for Beste. Then there's Chelsea Fulham. So in my Premier League Specialist, I'm going to be kind of going all out for this game. I'm going to be going 2 Chelsea players and 1 Fulham player. I've got more confidence in the Fulham player. As sickening as that is for a Chelsea fan to pick the Fulham player as the captain this week, I just don't think Raheem Sterling will start. And Badiashile is a defender, whereas Palhinha, I think Fulham will give Chelsea a good game. Chelsea aren't in great form. Palhinha's been doing well lately. I just think I've got more confidence in him than Sterling, so he'll probably get the captaincy. And then Longstaff is my kind of other pick. I've not really got many options in the Premier League this week. If we look at the players I could pick, they're injured, and then there's Kovacic. Kovacic is the only other option, so it's either Longstaff or Kovacic. Kovacic doesn't really play. I think Longstaff will play. They're playing each other, but I've got more, especially with De Bruyne coming back. I'm sure that Kevin De Bruyne's probably going to take more minutes off Kovacic. So let's go Longstaff. Longstaff did okay in one of his recent games. I can't remember which one, but I think, yeah, in Longstaff's last game, he got a 69. So he didn't do great before, but he was coming back from an injury. He got a 69. I don't think Newcastle have a lot of options. So they kind of, it has to be Longstaff playing. So that's what I'm thinking for Premier League Specialist. That's how my team's looking. If we look at my club, about how we're sort of faring, you know, I'm in a funny position, really. I'm thinking of possibly selling some cards because I've not got any money left in the bank. And I don't really want to keep adding money because this little experiment is kind of, I started with a budget of around about £150 and I want to see how far that can go. And I'm thinking I might have to sell some cards now to kind of get new ones. I'm looking at MLS. I'm looking at Mexican League coming back. I'm starting to think maybe I should target some of those leagues and sell some of the players I'm not playing because I've got players, that good players who aren't quite good at, they're too good for my Cap 240. And I feel like I'm just wasting them, having them and not playing them. So players like Quarta, Ravic, I don't think I've played him yet. I should just put the limited cards that I have. Christian Norgard, Mangala, there's a few players here. My Union SG players, you know, maybe it'll be better when their league comes back. But there's just a few cards I've got that I'm starting to think Sterling, you know. with him not playing as much and with me spending a considerable bit, I'm thinking if I can sell Sterling, I might be able to buy 2 players for that who are playing in a league and they're slightly cheaper and can get me more points. So over the next few weeks, I think, I'm not going to make any rash decisions. I think I might start selling some of my players and buying players to really target some of those leagues, because at the moment I'm targeting cap 240 and it feels like I'm just kind of going and throwing together what I can. Whereas if I pick a few more players that are really aimed at 240 and really aim for that league, that might be better. I mean, look at these players. Lushimi, I've got injured players like Awaniwi, I've got Kukureya who's injured. Lapusin's a good player, but, you know, is he too good for the cap 240? So there's a couple of decisions I need to make over the next few weeks. I'm going to wait till all the leagues are back, until they're all playing, and I'm going to assess them all again. But there's a few heads on chopping boards, just so you know, guys. There's a few cards I'm looking at and thinking, I don't know how long you boys are going to last. But, you know, let's see. And there's also a few cards that I've got that haven't come good yet that are longer term picks. Players like Soleil, he's not really played. He's been injured and could move in the future. So he's kind of like a player that I want to play. I've not played him yet. Ravich, I've not played him yet. These two boys, the 2 cards that I won, not played either of those yet because their seasons have ended. So I'm waiting for the Japanese league to resume to kind of see what I do with Watanabe. I'm waiting to see what Atuesta is, because the rumors are he's going to go to the MLS. So I'm waiting to see what his future is. And then depending on where he moves, I'll decide what to do with that card as well. So there's a couple of decisions to be made. If you're a Sorare pro, if you know a little bit about Sorare, let me know in the comments if there's any of these cards, what you think I should be doing with them. Are there any obvious cards here that I should be selling? Are there any cards that you think, I mean, they're really good picks? Stick with them. Patience, patience, patience. That is one big thing I'm learning in Sorare. You gotta have patience. Like, there's players that I've thought about selling that I didn't sell, and then I played 2 weeks later and they did well for me. So I do understand that this is a game of sort of, you just need to wait for those weeks where you have good fixtures of 5 of your cards and you smash that league that week. So that's my thinking with my team so far. Let me know what you think. Follow me on the socials so you can keep following my journey on Sorare. Hopefully we're going to hit that Sorare Boss status in the future. For now, these are the cards that we have. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Wish I had a bit more money to buy more cards. I really want to keep buying stuff, but for now, I'm happy with how the team looks. Let's see how we do. Good luck with your Game Week 431s. Give the video a like and a subscribe, and I will see you next week. Peace.